there's another one that could commit. Could commit on Friday.
Yeah, so we're talking about one top 5 wide receiver in the nation, Hykeem Williams. So tell us something about him, Logan.
Yeah, this is a very talented wide receiver that Florida State has built a relationship with. Talking about, going back to Blake, Florida State seems to be a pretty, I don't know how to say it, a pretty tactical coaching staff so far on the recruiting trail with building these relationships. And Hykeem is one of those guys, if not the biggest. I mean, Hykeem has had Florida State up there for a very long time. I mean, he's not a guy that has pushed them away and then brought him back in type of thing. He's gone and done his visits. He has a really nice relationship with Mike Norvell, Ron Dugans, and the rest of that coaching staff off field too. And Dennis Ratliff to a kind of a new addition to Florida State's off the field staff, joining Ryan Bartow on the other side. Hykeem, it's going to come down. It was always going to come down to wins, in my opinion. And this was the number one guy we kept on talking about. If you go down there and you win games that you're supposed to win, definitely that game at LSU was a huge one, right in front of his face, showing, hey, we need playmakers there, because there were some drops in that game too. And, I'm sure Mike and Ron Dugans and the rest of the coaching staff are saying, yeah, this team, our quarterbacks can throw, and we need playmakers. And Hykeem Williams fits that perfectly. It's down to Texas A&M and Miami here. I think it's a closer battle between Texas A&M and Florida State right now. Pittsburgh's still somewhere in there, but I think, with Kenny Pickett being gone, and I always forget his name, but now over there at USC, who was a baller last year at wide receiver, those two being gone, you see Pittsburgh kind of struggling there on offense. It's going to come down to Florida State and Texas A&M. I think Florida State feels very good on their side right now. From what I've heard earlier this morning, on their side, they feel good. And you can always say that. I know, usually some other teams do, but this one, it seems like Florida State's put themselves in a great spot. It came down to winning games and winning that big one at LSU. I think some things went well. And he did recently just visit Texas A&M. I was told that enjoyed the experience. He thought it was impressive. Definitely. The atmosphere there and College Station, I'm sure, and that stadium is a good time there. They were facing Miami, a primetime matchup. But it seems to be like Florida State's got some kind of edge right now heading into his commitment at 2:30 on Friday.
1:30 on Friday. NBC6 will be there, so make sure to pay attention to that.
Really?
And by NBC6, I mean me. He's a 6'3" target, and he's the number 2 player in South Florida as far as 24/7 is concerned in the Dade, Broward, Palm Beach area. So he's the best of the best in what I would say is the best area for high school football recruiting in the nation. 6'3", 200. He's the thing about him is that he could have gone from Stranahan, which is not a traditional powerhouse program here in Broward County, could have transferred to St. Thomas Aquinas, could have transferred to American Heritage, could have transferred to Cardinal Gibbons. He's choosing to stick with Stranahan. I'm hearing things a little bit differently than Logan. I'm hearing that obviously Logan said it's a toss-up between A&M and Florida State. I'm hearing these being pulled in 3 different ways. Obviously, A&M being right now the bigger name program at this point, obviously coming off their big win over Miami. They also have a bigger bag, if you will. So they've got him on bag alert. His family wants him to stay in Miami. He's a South Florida guy. They would like him to stay home. His best friend plays for Florida State. So that's the question. And Florida State has tried to play that card. And when he took his trip to Tallahassee, he was raving about Florida State. He was raving about being able to play with his friends, play with people he knows from the South Florida area. So if you're telling me to bet money, I'd probably say A&M is the favorite at this point. But I would not be surprised if he ends up staying in state at either Florida State or Miami. I just have that feeling like there's going to be a surprise come Friday. Not Pitt, not Alabama, not anyone else, but I think it's going to be either Miami or Florida State.
Yeah. You got it. I mean, you're looking at Johnny Wilson, Ontario Wilson, Malik McLean, how they've impressed to start out this year so much better than what we saw last season. Already beating some of the stats that we saw all throughout the entire season in 2021. I think that helps it too. I think Florida State right now, in my opinion, has the lead. It's on Wednesday at 6:21. So with these kind of commitments, you got to watch every 30 minutes and see what's going on and hit up any kind of sources you have. But right now, I think Florida State's put themselves in the right spot. They'll come away with a win too on Saturday. There's my prediction there. Just go ahead and get that out of the way. Florida State will beat Boston College this weekend. But that will add on, even though he's committing on Friday. That will only just add on to a little extra more fun on Saturday, which will be an 8 p.m. kickoff. But I think Florida State's in a great spot here. It's going to come down to Texas A&M and Florida State, in my opinion.
And Logan made a good point before we went on. Whoever he commits to, the recruitment will not stop. Pitt's not going to stop recruiting him. If he doesn't commit to Miami, Miami's not going to stop recruiting him. If he doesn't come to Florida State's not going to stop recruiting him. So I think to go along with what Logan said, you also have to look at the quarterback situation. Like he said, Pittsburgh is one of the finalists. They don't have a solid quarterback room at this moment. A&M's quarterback room has question marks. I think Miami is going to lose Tyler Van Dyke after the season. I think he goes pro. So that's the question. Does Florida State provide at least some stability in what's left after, what does Jordan Travis do after this year? But you have A.J. Duffy, who looks like he's going to be here for a while. You have the comeback man himself, Tate Rodemaker. I mean, at this point, you almost would have to say Florida State has the most stable linebacker room at this moment. Or excuse me, quarterback room at this moment.